Have you ever been at a party or in the middle of a meeting and felt like the only person in the room seeing the world in 4K while everyone else is watching black and white? You're standing in the crowd, you're laughing at the same jokes, but inside, you feel like an observer behind a thick sheet of glass. It's this nagging sense that everyone else received a secret manual for life and somehow yours got lost in the mail. It's not that you're better or worse than them. You're just running on a completely different operating system while the rest of the world uses the factory settings. Today we're going to explore 9 signs that feeling different isn't a defect. It's a rare psychological configuration that experts have been studying for decades. Let's see if you're one of them. Sign number 1, the observer effect. You don't participate in life directly, you analyze it constantly. It's hard for you to just be. Your brain automatically gathers data on everyone else's behavior, even while you're just waiting in line for coffee. You notice the patterns, how people argue, how they seek validation, how they mask their insecurity. Psychologists call this hyper-reflection. While everyone else is just swimming with the current, you're standing on the bank trying to figure out where the water is flowing. This gives you a deep understanding of the world, but it robs you of the ability to simply enjoy the moment without overthinking. Sign number 2, small talk exhaustion. For you, small talk isn't a break, it's a heavy cognitive load. You feel physically empty after a conversation about nothing. Your brain is hardwired for depth. It feels painful to discuss the weather or grocery lists when your mind is spinning with questions about systems, purpose, or hidden motives. This doesn't mean you're arrogant. It just means your neural filter is too large for tiny noise. You're looking for resonance. But 90% of the time, you only find static, and it drains every bit of your energy. Sign number 3, high signal sensitivity. You notice the micro shifts in the room that others simply ignore. A subtle tone of sarcasm, the way someone's shoulders drop, or a split-second pause before an answer. You often know someone is upset or lying before they even realize it themselves. This makes you a great strategist, but it turns your life into a non-stop data processing loop. You can't just listen to words, you're always hearing what's behind them. Your nervous system is tuned to a frequency that's too high. It makes you feel like an alien who sees hidden subtexts where everyone else just sees a normal conversation. Sign number 4, the complexity of meaning. Where others see one simple cause for an event, you see 5 interconnected systems. Your explanations often feel too complicated or overwhelming to people, even though to you, they are simply accurate. You find it painful to give simple answers to complex questions. You know the world isn't made of black and white. Your brain works through hyperlinks. One thought leads to 10 others. This leads to a deep sense of frustration when you see people reducing profound truths to primitive slogans. You seem complicated because, to you, the world actually is. Sign number 5, delayed emotional reaction. In moments of crisis or high stress, you appear frighteningly calm to those around you. While others are panicking or crying, your brain shifts into cold processing mode. The emotions don't disappear, they just wait in line. The real impact hits you a day, a week, or even a month later, once the situation is resolved and your brain signals that it's finally safe to feel. People might mistake you for being cold or indifferent, but in reality, it's a sophisticated defense mechanism. You need extra time to translate events from the language of logic into the language of feelings. Sign number 6, moral rigidity. You find it incredibly difficult to compromise your conscience for the sake of politeness, profit, or social peace. You have an internal code that you cannot break, even when it makes your life 10 times harder. You often end up being the only person who points out the elephant in the room. While everyone else prefers to pretend everything is fine, you can't look away. This level of honesty often makes you uncomfortable to be around. You feel like an outsider because you don't understand how others can ignore the truth so easily just for a moment of comfort. Sign number 7, the need for absolute solitude. For you, solitude isn't just about being alone. It's the only way to reset. Most people only need a couple of hours to recharge, but you need deep, extended silence to process everything you absorb during the day. This isn't social anxiety or sadness. It's a biological necessity to clear the cache of your overloaded mind. When you're alone, you finally stop being the observer. You can simply exist without analyzing every sound or every micro-emotion from others. Without these periods of isolation, your internal system begins to crash. Sign number 8, intuitive jumps. You often know the right answer or the outcome of a situation before it even begins. But you can't always explain the logic of how you got there. Your brain operates at ultra-high speeds, connecting thousands of tiny details into one clear pattern. You simply see the result. To others, it looks like magic or a lucky guess. In reality, it's the direct result of your hypervigilance. You read the trajectory of events as easily as others read a headline. Your intuition isn't mystical, it's just your intelligence running at full power in the background. Sign number 9. The search for the missing piece. All your life, you've been haunted by a background feeling. A feeling that everyone else received a secret manual for life and you didn't. You watch how easily people fit into groups. You see how they instinctively understand social rules and find contentment in simple things. But you feel like an explorer trying to learn the rules of the game while the match is already playing. You spend years studying what comes naturally to everyone else. But this search for the missing piece is exactly what makes you unique. You aren't just living life, you deeply understand its mechanics, while everyone else is just following the program. If you recognized yourself in most of these points, know this: you aren't broken. You are exactly who nature designed to observe, analyze, and understand. Every population needs those who stand slightly apart to see the bigger picture. Your differentness is your armor and your greatest tool. Tell me in the comments, which point hit home the hardest? Maybe it's time to stop looking for the manual and finally start trusting your own operating system.